Hey, Tubies, this is Bob Hickman. It is so good to be back with all of you. Well, I want to say thank you to all of you who came out to my recent video, Messages from the Spirit World. And if you didn't get to see that, that's the video right before this one. I do readings for viewers, so hope you'll check it out and send me your questions, and we'll have another video on that next week. But today I wanted to come here and talk to you about my previous video was earlier last week, which was on the Andromedans. Now, I've been doing for the last few months a series known as Alien Races and UFOs. And you guys have been saying how much you like that and you want to keep learning, and you've asked me to do more. So today we're going to do a follow-on to that video from last week on the Andromedans, because there's so much more, and a lot of you have been asking about that. Just to recap, this is a picture of the Andromedans, and I have more detail in the previous video, so I'll put the link below. But this race of Andromedans are humanoids. They average about the same size as humans, 5 to 7 feet tall, very intelligent, and they are working with the Palladians. Now, the Palladians are the Nordic aliens, the tall blondes, but they're both very similar. The Andromedans tend to be more pale skin, whereas the Andromedans are more, earth skin tone. So they're more whitish looking. But as you can see, they look very human. They're very gentle, very intelligent. And they are working to help raise consciousness on the earth. Now, there are various races within the Andromeda star system, and they're all very similar. They're all interconnected. But somebody asked me, they said, Psychic Bob, I heard that there are Andromedans who are so advanced they are beings of pure light, that they don't have solid physical bodies in the way that we understand bodies. Well, that's a very good question, because what I need to kind of explain is there are, at least at this time that we know of, 3 different classes of Andromedans. The first class of Andromedans are a much smaller stature. They're between 3 and 5 feet tall and are very similar to the gray aliens. They're smaller in size and stature, no less intelligent, no less compassionate, though. They're wise and gentle people. They just have an evolutionary system that has made them smaller in size. The ones that we discussed in the last video are the ones that are closely related to humans on Earth. They're basically our physical size, 5 to 7 feet tall, and that's the ones that are in this picture. Now, there are a third class of Andromedans that I want to talk about today, and these are what I want to call the Angelic Andromedans. You're going to say, Psychic Bob, what is that? Well, there are a class of aliens, of Andromedan aliens, who are actually taller. They're between 7 and 9, and some say 10 to 12 feet even tall. And it's believed from the people who have encountered them, there have been humans who have actually interacted with them, and they have been told by them that they are connected to the angelic realm. Now, many of you know I do believe in angels. And interestingly, throughout history, it has been recorded that the angels have interacted with the human race. And it's believed that the angels, at least according to the Andromedans, have also interacted with their race. So there are angels who guide and protect and oversee the Andromedans. And the third class of the Andromedans, the Angelic Andromedans, are the ones who are merged with angels, and they're in a sense another breed, a hybrid of angelic energy and Andromedan. And as I said, these are between 7 and some say 12 feet tall, giant. Now, I've heard this is the branch of alien species among the Andromedans that are really the elite, the most powerful, and they have bodies, from what I understand, of pure light. People have encountered them, have said some of them look literally like angels. They have giant wings. And I've heard some of them basically look very similar to the picture that I showed you here without wings. So they can take multiple forms. But everybody has talked about the third class, the angelic class, says their bodies have the ability to materialize and dematerialize, and they seem to be created of a substance of pure light. And they're very luminescent, very exalted looking. And so this is another class of Andromedans. And as we talked about in the last video, as I understand it, the Andromedans are an alien race who are so psychically linked that they're very easy to connect with. And I mentioned that I'd like a lot of us here, if you're open to it at Spirit Channel, those of us here, to try to do a mental connection. From what I understand, all we have to do is literally sit down, center ourselves, and call in the Andromedans. And so I encourage you, when you get a chance this week, sit down and do that. I'm going to try to make every Friday Andromedan meditation day. So I'm going to sit down this Friday and do a concerted effort to connect with them. And I would like to invite all of you, if you're open to it, to try this as well. And let's, compare notes next week and see if we've made contact. Now, when an alien speaks to you, it may come in as an image, as a word, as a voice. From what I understand, the Andromedans are pretty clear. They will give you verbal commands. That may or may not be your experience, but as I say, that has been recorded as an experience that occurs with those who make contact. I've heard many people say they can go out literally and call Andromedan ships to them. These are not crazy people. I do believe this exists and occurs. So I think that we want to try to reach out and make a connection. Now, which branch of the Andromedans are we going to connect to? Honestly, I don't know, because people that I've heard from have all connected to all three branches, the little ones, the humanoid sized ones, and the angelic. So your connection, your response could come from any one of the three branches. And so, be open to who comes, be open to their message, and let's see what the Andromedans have. But this angelic race is the one that I'm very fascinated with, and I think that they are probably going to be playing a larger role in the evolution of humanity. If it's no secret that the Earth has come many times close to nuclear war. Now, a lot of that has been hushed up, but back in the Cuban Missile Crisis days, we were really on the brink. And since then, there have been a lot of close calls, and as I said, a lot of it's been hushed up. But I do believe, and I've heard on good authority, that the Andromedans have played a role in kind of stepping down crises of a nuclear type. And I think the angelic Andromedans have played a big part in that. And so I think they're a wonderful a branch of the Andromedans, the angelic ones, that we should also try to connect to. Very powerful beings. But the wonderful thing is that in their power, they're good. They don't do evil. And so it has been consistent across time that every Andromedan that Earth people have encountered has been very wise, very enlightened, and very gentle. So I think it's a pretty safe race for us to experiment with interaction with. So anyways, guys, I'm just going to bring that to you today and give you something to think about. And I hope that's helpful to you. So remember, there are three alien classes of the Andromedans: the small ones, the middle-sized ones, basically the Earth, the ones closest to us, and then the angelic ones. And they're all powerful, they're all peaceful, they're all gentle, and they have a real love for humanity and for the Earth. And I think if we work on our connections with them, we can only be better for the experience. So let's not be afraid of the aliens. Many of them are good, and they are here to help us. Of course, we must always use discernment, but I think with the Andromedans, we're in pretty good hands. Well, guys, thanks for being here. I send you my blessings. Keep it here. Be back next week. and we're going to continue with our discussion about the alien races. Blessings to you all.